Scott McLaughlin scheduled to join us here in a few, and thank you to Mark Janes, Jake Query and company. That poll call right there from a couple of years ago over at IMS, 6:30 Sunday, kind of a little bit later this year, getting that Fox TV window. But that's what we've got waiting for us here this weekend, as we will keep an eye on Mother Nature. Right now, you look outside, and I think it kind of speaks for itself. Potentially, we could have maybe a delay here this morning. We have not had Mother Nature touch anything practice-wise at all here through the first 3 days. Final day of practice starting at noon. Gates open at 10. Let's head to the Payless Liquors hotline right now. And I really think Scott McLaughlin would appreciate what I've done here over the last hour, okay? I haven't told James and Mark this. Guys, I've gone dual screens here over here. I've gone PGA Championship along with doing the radio show. Are you guys good with me doing that?
I'm good with you doing that.
I think Scott McLaughlin would be good with me watching a little golf. Scott McLaughlin, are you good with me watching a little golf while trying to attempt to do a radio show?
Yeah, no, I'm totally fine with that. I think it's very important, especially it's raining in Indy right now, so we're not on track for a while. So, yeah, I think I'll be just about to park myself on the couch right now and look after my 18-month-old whilst watching Scotty Scheffler hopefully shoot a low round because he's my pick this week. So see how we go.
Look at that. Watching young kids and watching golf. That's where my comparisons to Scott McLaughlin
I was going to say,
stop.
you and him are twins.
Well, I think looks and I think bravery would be very different in that category. Scott, I got to throw one more golf question. Did you go to the Masters this year?
Yes, yeah, I did. I'm very lucky to go. To be honest, I normally go the practice rounds. I've the last few years I've gone the Tuesday, and then this year I went on the Wednesday. And myself and Ryan Blaney, the NASCAR guy, we sat down and watched from the third par 3 hole and just watched everyone come through, and we were having close to pin bets. It was awesome. It was great. Had a couple of azaleas. It was great. It was a good day. So a lot of fun.
Scott, did you feel kind of detached from the world without having your phone and things like that on you?
Yeah, it's the best. It's awesome. It's the best part about it. So the people that we go with, they're super awesome with, if we've got emergency contact if we need if anything happens with our daughter or anything like that. But outside of that, it's nice to get away from the world and just have be off your phone for 12 hours.
Scott, as you look ahead to the 500, obviously last year starting off was not what you wanted or expected, but how did you perhaps take that experience and use it to become a better driver and perhaps even better person after going through something that public and sort of having that moment be spotlighted?
Yeah, I think it's works in both ways. I mean, you can look at that negative and turn it into another negative, or you can take it and turn it into a positive. And I generally feel like I've learned a ton and as much as I can from it. Obviously, I'm still, it's still one of the hardest days of my life, and I'm going to be hurting with that for a long time. But I've now got the opportunity to change a storyline and create a new one, and I'm excited for that. But from what I learned and took in from that whole experience, I think it's built me, my character a little bit better, and proves that we can come back from anything. So I'm pretty excited for what's ahead. But I certainly wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That was a pretty tough day, and I'd hate to see anyone else go through the same problem.
Fast Friday is here. Scott McLaughlin will await the weather update here, and we'll see when cars get on the track here. The boost is a big part of, obviously, Fast Friday, Scott. How much in the car do you feel that increase in miles per hour today?
Oh, it's genuinely incredible. It's the one today and tomorrow is probably the one day where you wake up a little bit earlier and you got a nervous stomach because it's just genuinely is a lot faster. I mean, we, on average, are up 10, 12 mile an hour. We'll hit probably close to 245, 246 mile an hour at our peak speed today. So it's super quick, but unfortunately it's stalled out a little bit with this rain. So we just have to wait for that. But it's an awesome time, and it's probably the first time you actually feel like, geez, going pretty quick here. So, but unfortunately, last time I ran at this boost level, I was upside down. So I'm trying to change that narrative as well. So we'll see how we go.
I was going to say, you've had quite the eventful maze, I would say. Good, bad, scary, all of it here over the last couple of years. Have you gotten a feel at all on just kind of the raciness from a week from Sunday? And I get that, like, Mother Nature will impact some of that. But, from a passing standpoint, in traffic standpoint, what has been the feel over the last couple of days of what we can look forward to a week from Sunday?
Well, it's going to it will depend on Mother Nature and the temperature that comes because, on Monday, we had a pretty, reasonably warm day. It was close to 80 degrees and, it was a little bit harder for a lot of cars and there was only a few sort of outliers and I felt like one of them where we were able to be really quick and move our way through the pack. And then it cooled off the last couple of days and basically that means like everyone's car just gets better and everyone can follow a bit closer and it's, very intense. But if it looks like, this is Indiana, if the weather looks like it's, around that 80-degree mark for the race day in a week or so's time. So, I think it's going to be interesting what race we get. But, I think in both conditions, my cars felt pretty good. And, I just need to make sure I put myself in a position in qualifying and we don't have to get pole. I've been on pole here before and it doesn't really change the race too much. It just helps, your starting spot. So, hopefully we can qualify in that top 9 and we'll see where we're at.
Again, we're speaking with Scott McLaughlin, who is the number 3 driving the number 3 for Chevrolet. Scott, I'm always curious about this from a driving racing standpoint. What does your mental preparation look like as you get closer to the 500? We talk so much about the car and, the equipment and things like that, but how do you kind of prepare for such a big race, but also knowing that you probably can't win it, on the first lap?
No, for sure. A lot of it's also controlling your energy from a perspective of like what media you do or sponsors and stuff like that. I feel like the first couple of years I was saying yes to everything. And by the time I got to the race, I burnt myself out and I felt like I didn't really drive the best race. I really controlled it the last few years. And, obviously I didn't get the chance last year, but in 24, I had one of my best races here yet, led the most laps and put ourselves in position if it wasn't for a mechanical problem. So, like you guys said, we've had some ups and downs the last few years, but I feel like personally as a driver, energy level and where I'm driving is pretty high up there. And I feel like the experience I've gained is just being able to control a lot of those things is really good. So, it's all about that, juggling that mentally, but it's part and parcel of the month.
Again, that's the voice of Scott McLaughlin. He's with us here as Fast Friday is going to commence in a couple hours, weather permitting. All right, Scott, I have got 3 kids. My youngest is 6 months old. I forget what 18 months is like. Is that a lot of movement at 18 months?
Yeah, well, she's currently standing on top of the couch, and I'm moving everything within sight for her to grab. So I'm like literally doing this while we're doing the interview. So, it's part of it, but it's definitely, it's fun for us right now. Like we're in the bus in the middle of the racetrack, and it's, home away from home, but it kind of feels like a bit of a vacation. But she's definitely, just crazy right now. Like it's fun, but she loves the racing. She loves picking up things and there she is. I don't know if you can hear her. So she's pumped up. So we're excited for what's ahead.
She knows the miles per hour are going to increase for Dad here coming up today. Okay, last one. I am a loser. I find myself on YouTube watching either golf videos or watching past finishes of the Indy 500. And last night I literally watched probably, I would say it was a 20-minute video of the radio calls synced up to the finishes of the 500. As someone that drives in the actual race, do you ever find yourself watching past finishes of the 500?
Oh, yeah, all the time. For study, yes, because it's such a strategic type race that you got to go through. But, I think just from a fan perspective, I'm a fan first and foremost of the sport and motorsport in general. And I personally believe this is the best race in the world. And, I love seeing some of the finishes and the emotion a part of it. And, I'd be lying if I said I didn't dream of that, So, that's what we all aspire to. And I can imagine, you're 100 feet from the finish line. I bet you your life changes forever. Just that feeling would be incredible. So, hopefully that's us this year. If not, we'll just keep coming back to try. And, there's no reason why we can't. We've got a great car and see what we can do.
Well, there's so much to like about Scott McLaughlin and his story. James Boyd, the only flaw, I think, in this market.
I know where you're going.
Die-hard New York Knicks fans, Scott
I was
McLaughlin.
waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
I think we discussed last year. Did you and Ed Carpenter have a little friendly wager last year? Does memory serve on that Pacers-Knicks series?
Yeah. I had to spend quite a bit of money buying the coffee that no one else would buy. So, unfortunately bought a lot of Ed's coffee that was going on the old shelves. But anyway, we got through that. But no chance for Ed this year, unfortunately, guys. So, I think, Knicks 4-0. They look pretty strong right now, but I'm a bit worried about the West. But I would love the Cavs to win against the Pistons because we get home court, and I think that's a big deal going into the finals.
Oh, he's got a great golf swing. Hopefully he's got a great car a week from Sunday. Scott, enjoy the time with your daughter this morning, and good luck coming up this weekend.
Yeah, appreciate it, boys. Thank you.